So I'm having a chat with SIPHO. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great, man. How are you, man?
Good, yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So first things first, we've been playing a new single of yours called Lock It In. Tell us a little bit about the track, first of all.
It's just a little kind of, I guess, devious, funky joint. We've been doing all kinds, experimenting with new sounds and influences. I think this was like my first time getting a bit more funky with stuff, so it's been fun to do that.
Yeah, good. And that's coming off your debut album coming out at the end of October on the 27th called Prayers and Paranoia. When we get a chance to take a listen, what can we expect to hear?
It's gonna be a sonic journey. It's gonna be a story if you want to pay attention for it. But I'd just say, press play.
Good. And you've been releasing music over the last few years as well. How does the sound of this record sound in comparison to the music of yours that's already out there?
It's a sonic step forward. I always try to kind of do something different every time. I can't keep myself stuck to one thing. So I guess this was me listening to a lot of Radiohead, a lot of Alabama Shakes, Brittany Howard, Queens of the Stone Age, and so on and so on. It goes.
Yeah, good. So, do you think you've now, with this record, found the sounds that you want to create and want to continue going forward with, or is there still things that you want to try and see if it works for you?
I think there's always going to be stuff I want to try. I feel like there's things I really want to probably hone in on more and mess around with. I've been enjoying playing my guitar again, so it's nice to dive back into the tones. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But no, like I think it'll always be a growing journey. Always be a growing journey.
Yeah, that's good to know. And you are getting the chance to play these tracks live across the UK in November. You are playing across the UK, but you can't wait to be touring again.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it does feel like quite a relief. I get to, after all the social media and all the promotion, all that stuff, I get to kind of just be a musician again. So yeah, like 100% get to go out, get in a van, play with my friends, and yeah, and
Yeah.
just make people happy, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a bunch of it's UK dates and Ireland on these dates, but I'm sure you'll be wanting to take it further afield. Are you hoping to go over into Europe and over to the States at some point soon?
Oh, 100%, 100%. And I think I've been getting the messages and the demand and asking, when am I going over there? When am I coming to play in those places? So I think hopefully I get the chance to go in and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like to talk a little bit about the writing side of things. So what works for you when you start a track off? What kicks things off for a track for you?
I think it's so many different like stimuluses. Like I think sometimes it's just a mood or it's a sound or it's watching TV and kind of getting the feel of whatever I'm watching and then being like, oh, like there's kind of a sound in my head. And I kind of start more recently, instead of starting with just writing a song, I kind of create like a production vibe and put the instruments I want in, and then we can kind of fix the mess from there. Do you know what I mean? And make it make sense.
Yeah, most definitely. And once you've got your demo sorted and you go to record it, how do you then take it from a demo to a finished track?
It's crying and stressing myself out until we feel like we have something. But I've kind of gotten used to having the second ear, especially with this album working with Joseph Rogers. It's been good to have the second ear to kind of organize and rejig and make the structures happen, and then kind of go in and write and just have things kind of move a lot more smoothly, I guess. Even though I am kind of going with a relatively backwards approach these days.
Yeah. And are you the sort of person who has to keep tinkering and keep playing with the track until it's absolutely perfect, or do you like to keep a bit more of the raw sound and keep it to the original demo?
I think I've gotten used to kind of trying to lay off things a bit, I guess. Maybe, and I know like no matter what, I'm gonna have my regrets and my, oh no, I could have done this in the mix, whatever. But that's what the next project's for.
Mm. Yeah, most definitely. And as you're a fairly new artist, I like to find out what made you do this in the first place and release music for the world to hear.
I have no idea. I think if there's one thing that I found interesting, and this wasn't even coming from me, this was I was on the phone with Jamie Oborn. He's the owner of Dirty Hit. He kind of said to me, like he looks at me, he was saying like you're not someone that just like kind of wants to do this. It's like you kind of have to do this. And I think when he said that, as soon as he said that, it kind of made sense. And
Yeah.
and it is a bit like there are, and I feel like I'm skilled in so many different ways, but it's like this kind of just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you must have a number of aspirations of things you want to achieve as an artist. But if you had to pick one thing that you have to do as an artist, what would that one thing be?
Um, I don't know. I don't try to overthink it, man. I think right now, like the atmosphere is changing so much, and the meaning of things is kind of evolving and dissolving, and you know we'll see what it looks like. So I'm right now I'm kind of just focused on building my team and continuing to make the music I love, man.
Yeah,
First
good.
and foremost. Everything else is kind of I've kind of been lucky to have everything else come as it comes.
Yeah, good. Well, SIPHO, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having me, Jim.